Welcome on in. This is Deal Day at Vitatree. I'm so happy to have you all here. We are going to do some shopping today. I'm Dr. Janine. Welcome on in. If you're new here at Vitatree.com, you are in for a great hour with me, Dr. Janine, the formulator of all the Vitatree products. Maybe you've seen me on social media, and I'm so excited that we have our Deal Day. This is our first official launch of our Deal Day, our online live shopping event, and incredible value that you are getting today. These offers are never seen before pricing, okay? So we are starting off with our vitamin D3, Vitatree Nutritionals, highly absorbed vitamin D3 in a formulation that I'm sure you've never seen before. These are actually delicious. They are chewable, soft gels that taste like little lemonade candies. The kids love them. Everybody loves them. So easy to take and absolutely amazing in terms of vitamin D deficiency. As we know, 'tis the season, right? And for a lot of us that don't live close to the equator, we know that that sun is waxing and waning. We are not getting the sunlight exposure that we need for our vitamin D. And this is so important, the Vitatree difference, and that's why you're here. Maybe you're new to Vitatree. This is what we do. We do things differently, without the fillers, without the flow agents, no magnesium stearate. I'm going to educate you over the next hour, so stay tuned. I hope that you're here and ready to shop. But what makes us so different is that, again, formulated by myself, a naturopathic doctor, whole food ingredients with no magnesium stearate. And I'm going to show you what that magnesium stearate looks like. It's something that is found in most vitamins out there. You're not going to find that in any Vitatree product. No fillers or flow agents. And this is why we get the results that we do at Vitatree with that high absorption. Amazing in terms of that bioavailability. And of course, all of our products are third-party tested and made in a GMP certified facility, which is important for you to know as well. And of course, today is our deal day on our vitamin D3. This is our 2-bottle offer. Each bottle is 90 capsules of our chewables. And at this value, like I said, never seen before. So it's for one day only for our deal day item. And this is going to be on our 2 bottles of our D3. Again, our one-time price at $41.98 USD. And of course, our subscription price is at $37.78. So you get free shipping on subscription as well. And this is an amazing opportunity. You don't have to worry about cancellation fees or any of that. So what an amazing deal that we've got going just for the next 24 hours. That's all you've got on the deal day item, and this is so important. All right, so vitamin D3, why do we need it? How do we know that we're actually low in that vitamin D3? Well, making sure that we've got enough is important because quite likely your body could be giving you those signs and symptoms of a vitamin D deficiency. And let's take a look at these, which are so common. So if you've got issues in the mouth, so that could be periodontitis, it could be gingivitis, so swollen gums, sore gums, it could be, chronic infections happening in the mouth. It could also be, of course, dental cavities, and you're suffering, with having to go to the dentist all the time and getting your cavities filled. This is an indication potentially that your vitamin D3 levels are low, as well as asthma and chronic lung issues. It could be, your blood glucose levels are not optimized, as well as, of course, your bone density. We need that active vitamin D and to be absorbing that vitamin D, which is so important, as well as fatigue, depression, low mood. I would also include anxiety in here, high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, and muscle aches, weakness, and even back pain, as that's related to having that low vitamin D3. But our vitamin D3 metabolism, if you are aware, is of course from UVB exposure. Now that sun is going away. Where I live at this latitude in Canada, that sun is going away. So soon we won't be able to make that UVB, that natural vitamin D3 from our UVB exposure from the sun. And this is something that is implicated now in terms of your liver health and your kidney health. Nobody ever talks about this. You need to have a healthy liver. You need to have a healthy kidney for that activation of your active vitamin D3. And to help with remineralization of your bones and your calcium absorption. You have to have good gut health as well. So this is all part and parcel as to why people have a lot of the symptoms of being low in that vitamin D3. When we saw that chart, aches and pains, this is so common, I find, and people think, oh, it's because, you know, the cold winter month is here and yeah, I'm feeling cold and achy. Is it really the cold, or is it because you have become so depleted in your vitamin D levels that that is the problem? Now, what makes the Vitatree vitamin D3 so different is that this is in a fat-soluble format. So remember, these are chewable little soft gels. It's a soft gel cap, so great for the kids. They taste like little lemonade, little candies. Each capsule is standardized to 1,000 international units of your vitamin D3. So that's important. And in that fat-soluble delivery system, you're going to get that rapid absorption. The vitamin D3 is naturally derived from sheep's wool, from their lanolin, and again, very different at Vitatree. And this is where, when we look at testimonials for this product, even for people who have taken other vitamin Ds before, when we look at this, you're going to see a big difference. All right, so this is from Jay. Thank you to everybody who writes in your reviews, your testimonials. Love the fact that you share all the good news. Now, Jay said, I use D3 in combination with magnesium and have found my health is maintained in a positive way. The twitching of my calf muscles have reduced. Well, thank you so much, Jay. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. This is from Sylvia, and Sylvia said, I love the taste of these. Yeah, they are delicious. They taste like little orange candy, little lemonade candies, and they're small and easy to swallow as well if you do want to swallow them. And of course, this is from Maria. Maria said, these work so well. I had a vitamin D level of 41, so pretty low. 3 months after starting these, it's up to 137. All right, congratulations, Maria. Amazing that you are, I know you're feeling better, because when you optimize your vitamin D levels, you feel so much better. Your energy comes back. And maybe that's what's lacking for you if you're watching here, even for the first time, you're like, wow, that kind of sounds like me, and all those deficiency symptoms can be related, of course, to that low vitamin D3. So again, our value, this is a great value today with, of course, our and we will be talking about our zinc coming up, but with our D3, that is our deal of the day with unbelievable pricing that's happening today and today only. So this is just a one-day sale. So you got to stock up. You got to put this in your cart immediately. The D3 deal today up to 35% off. We do have subscription. We do have broken up payments. If you want to do with a one-time and you want to break up your payments and have a payment plan, we can do that as well to make it easier for you to get it into your cart, and more importantly, for you to get it home and you can taste that delicious vitamin D3. All right, moving on now, we will talk a little bit about our zinc plus quercetin. This will be coming up. I'll do a full presentation on our zinc plus quercetin. This is our super sale of the day, a little bit different. This will last a little bit longer, so up to 7 days, or if we run out and we don't have any left, then unfortunately it's gone. So while supplies last, we will do our 2-bottle, and I'll do a full presentation on this, our 2 bottles of our zinc plus quercetin, really important for our hair, our skin, our nails, our collagen, for our immunity, for our, if you are coming down with something and a sore throat, this is a go-to with our zinc plus quercetin. I'm going to explain as to how it's so different compared to other zincs out there, and you'll appreciate, you know, that Vitatree difference. And here's the thing, a lot of supplements out there, yes, there are a lot, and there's a lot of different brands out there, even the ones that I used to prescribe and I thought were the best. You know, imagine, I'm a naturopathic doctor, I'm prescribing these high-end, you know, professional brands and often very expensive supplements to my patients. I wasn't always getting the results that I was looking for, but then I started to really look at the bottles and the ingredients and the non-medicinal ingredients. And I came to realize that there's a lot of junk found in a lot of vitamins out there. Things like microcrystalline cellulose. So I want you to check your vitamin bottles after today's presentation. I want you to look for some of these things, all right? This is basically made from wood chips, and they use it to fill up capsules, to make more capsules. Another one is titanium dioxide. This has now been banned in Europe and still allowed here where I live in North America. Magnesium stearate is a big one as well. I actually have videos out on social media about why we don't use magnesium stearate. It's never been tested to be safe for long-term human consumption. It is a chemical, and ideally I should be wearing gloves and a mask just to handle it. Now imagine this is in 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of your supplements that you're taking. never been tested, and they haven't done the testing on, how that could affect your cellular health. So it is a chemical. You need to be aware of these things. And it's not magnesium, it's a chemical, magnesium stearate. It could say vegetable stearic acid as well. And we're moving on now to magnesium, the real stuff, magnesium bisglycinate. And that is my formulation, the Vitatree Magnesium. And we're going to take a look at the high absorption. We're going to go over there in just a second. But this is a magnesium bisglycinate. So bound to glycine. Glycine is important because it's an amino acid. It's something that often we are also deficient in. And this is why it's a bisglycinate, so two glycines. Glycine works like a neurotransmitter, helps with our glutathione levels. How do we know that we're actually low in that magnesium? Well, we know that magnesium can help with a number of different things. We'll come back to that, but how do you know? I mean, is your body telling you that you've got these signs and symptoms of that magnesium deficiency? Well, let's take a look. You get these eye twitches, irregular heartbeat, slow metabolism. Yes, magnesium, taking the right type of magnesium helps with your metabolism of your carbs, your fats, your proteins. So isn't that important? Yes, it is, absolutely. And that's why I actually prefer that you take the Vitatree Magnesium in the morning, That's how you remember it if you've seen me on social media, okay? And I know if you're watching for the first time, and please go to Vitatree.com. If you're watching me from somewhere else right now, please go to Vitatree.com and put your questions in the comment section so I can answer your questions. But this is important because maybe, everybody says take magnesium when? Take it at bedtime, right? Because it helps with sleep, it relaxes you. Well, magnesium bisglycinate, so the Vitatree Magnesium, helps with your metabolism. When do we need to metabolize our carbs and our fats and our proteins? Of course, during the day. So I prefer it in the morning. And you don't want to take it with calcium at the same time. So that's a big, no-no as well, that most people and even supplements, they put mag, cal together. You don't want to do that. They compete for absorption. All right, let's continue with magnesium deficiency. Headaches. If you're getting headaches, that can be as simple as a magnesium deficiency. And when you start taking the Vitatree Magnesium, you're really going to feel that difference. Those headaches, for a lot of people, completely disappear. They don't come back. And this could be migraine headaches, tension headaches, any type of chronic headache, often related to that low magnesium. We simply don't get enough magnesium in our diets any longer, and this is one of the reasons why chronic headaches is such a big issue. Asthma. Menstrual cramps. Remember that magnesium is a natural muscle relaxant, so it's going to help to calm down the system, help to relax those muscles. Low bone density. Yes, it does work with our calcium as well, which we will be talking about in just a moment. But it's all about how you take it and how you take the right supplements to ensure that you have the proper absorption. As well as if you crave a lot of chocolate, all right, that is usually a telltale sign of a magnesium deficiency. And a lot of muscle cramping and weakness can be related to low magnesium as well. All right, so I'm going to go over here now. I'm going to show you how the Vitatree Magnesium is just so different in terms of absorption. And this is one of the things that, if you've taken magnesium or CalMags before, I wonder if you can do this, all right? So with the Vitatree Magnesium, it is unflavored, and I actually do this, and I suggest, for anybody who has acid reflux, this is a great little hack to be able to open up, and you can see I'm dropping the contents of that magnesium into the water, and you can see it's dissolving without me even needing to stir that at all and really shake that up. It's completely dissolving. That shows you the high absorption of the Vitatree products, and without the fillers and flow agents. You're not seeing any other, white powder or anything in here. If you do have acid reflux, you're going to do that. So your 2 capsules, your standard dosage of the Vitatree Magnesium is 2 capsules. You're going to do that in the morning. And like I said, magnesium in the morning. So 2 capsules in the morning, open it up into your water. If you do have acid reflux or GERD, you're going to be drinking that in the morning. You might burp a little bit, and that's actually a good sign because it's quelling that acid. But we know that magnesium helps on so many fronts. Let's go over here. So it helps with that acid reflux. It's going to help to relax those sphincters to actually keep that acid down in the stomach where it needs to be, but also important in terms of helping with muscle relaxation, helps with muscle recovery, as well as energy metabolism. As we know, for your carbs, so for all your macros, your carbs, your fats, and your proteins, to metabolize those, you need to have optimal magnesium levels. Helpful for your nervous system. So if you've got nervousness, panic attacks, anxiety types of symptoms happening, which is common for a lot of people, then make sure you're just taking your 2 capsules every day. It's so easy to do. You can swallow the capsules, of course. You can open it up. I actually make an electrolyte drink with the magnesium, which you can find on my social media channels. Find that recipe, which is amazing. It's a game changer, and it really helps with proper hydration to make sure that your body is holding on to that water that you need. Gentle on digestion. So because it is that format of the bisglycinate, without the fillers and flow agents, it's not going to be hard on your stomach, and it is a non-laxative form. So some people who take magnesium, it makes them go, and some people take magnesium for that reason because they're constipated. I don't always necessarily agree with that because it's kind of like a backdoor approach and maybe not addressing the real reason for that constipation, which can be related back to your circadian rhythm. So we will be talking about my book in just a few moments, The Lost Medicine, and I talk all about that in my book, as well as no nausea, no stomach pain, and no diarrhea, like I said, with the Vitatree magnesium. So check it out on the website, Vitatree.com. Remember, you have joined us today if you're just tuning in to Deal Day. This is our live online shopping with myself, Dr. Janine. I am the formulator for all the Vitatree products, and welcome on in. It's so great to have you here. This has been a long time coming, and of course, our Deal Day item of the day, up to 35% off if you're going on subscription at a remarkable price. So this is at $41.98 US dollars. Thank you so much for tuning in. We also will be talking about our zinc plus quercetin, really important this time of year, of course, for your immune system. So that is coming up, and that is our super sale item. And of course, our Deal Day items are only for 24 hours. So you got to be quick on your vitamin D3 today. And the zinc is going to go up to 7 days or until we run out of stock. So that is, a great deal as well at $55.02 USD. And thank you for everybody who's tuned in today. Let's take a look at some testimonial reviews really quickly on our Vitatree magnesium. Again, unlike other magnesiums that are out there, all right, sometimes you don't, and this is from Erica, sometimes you don't know what the body needs till it's got it. Thank you, Dr. Janine, for educating us about this magnesium. It's a clean ingredient without any other agents, and that makes us feel safe. Love this magnesium. I feel great and help my daily life full of energy. Well, thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you. Another, testimonial from Purple Yam. It was so, so great to always hear all of your testimonials, your reviews. I truly appreciate all of the feedback that I get, from all the Vitatree products. The whole reason why I got into naturopathic medicine was after the loss of my mom years back, and she had, serious chronic disease. I won't mention what it is. If you've read my bios and things, you know what it is. And, really important to me to know that in some way, what sort of propelled me into learning about natural medicine was her journey with that disease. And now being able to give back and to hear your testimonials, it really does mean all of the world to me. And I thank to everyone who ever tunes into any of my social media or you're watching me live now. I truly appreciate you all. We're going to take a look at a little bit about my book, and I'll come right back in a second. Take a look at this. What if the real path to healing was buried on purpose? Before we had prescriptions and quick fixes, we healed with the sun, with the earth, with grounding, with natural detox, and really watching what we put into our bodies. Well, these are some of the reasons why I wrote my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's all about rediscovering Mother Nature's prescription for us. She is our best doctor. You can learn more in my latest book. Please check it out. All right, well, that is, The Lost Medicine. I will be talking about the book in just a few moments, so stay tuned for that. And for those of you who have already purchased the book and you've been reading it, I'd love to hear your feedback as well. It's so great. Okay, there was a question, Sayad, the dose of magnesium of the glycinate and anxiety and having some issues with what's going on with anxiety. Yeah, so the standard dosage of the Vitatree magnesium is 2 capsules, all right? 2 capsules of your bisglycinate. We can maybe come back to it and I'll show you exactly the label on the magnesium. Can we do that now? I'm not sure if my team can bring that up really quickly. All right, so the magnesium bisglycinate, thank you so much. So 2 capsules, of course, of your elemental, and this is important with magnesium, which I didn't have a chance to get to. We will get to our calcium in just a second. I'm going there, but I just wanted wanted to answer Syed's question with magnesium. 76 of your elemental magnesium and 950 milligrams is what you're getting of your magnesium bisglycinate in your 2 capsules. So if that's specifically what you're looking for, that elemental magnesium, not everybody puts that on their bottles in terms of how much of the actual element you're getting, whether that's magnesium, whether that's calcium, but we do. We put that on the bottle so that you know, full disclosure as to how much you're getting. Often, you know, you're not necessarily getting what you think you are in your supplements, but we tell you exactly what's in there. All right, let's move on to our calcium capsules. Now this is very different. This is a whole food calcium, and whether you want to go with the capsules, we do have the original powder that we launched with as well, but the calcium capsules is a fossilized above sea level coral calcium. And what makes this so remarkable when we look at, and we will go through some of the symptoms of this, but that coral calcium also has 69 other trace minerals, which are super important for that proper absorption of your calcium. And they've done some studies in terms of absorption from calcium from other sources, other supplements, versus a whole food calcium. And of course, coral calcium has a high bioavailability. And that's why when I formulated the Vitatree calcium, I really wanted to do a coral calcium, but it had to be of pristine quality. And this has been tested to make sure there aren't any heavy metal toxins and all of these things. That really is one of those things that you should know, that not all vitamin companies are doing the testing that they're supposed to do because it's very expensive. But of course here we test every batch to make sure that you are getting the purest product without any contaminants. All right, when we look at some of the symptoms of a calcium deficiency, this can be really common, you know, and we always think about our calcium in terms of our bone density, but for the symptoms of calcium deficiency, yes, for healthy bones and weak bones and sore joints can be related to low calcium, but even being overweight. So there is sometimes this correlation that's happening between, and you know, one study that I read years ago in terms of perimenopausal women and weight gain and fat gain, that they found that those that were calcium deficient actually tended to put on more of that menopausal middle, let's call it that, or you know, that abdominal fat and that visceral fat, as that's related to the hormones changing around perimenopause and menopause. So calcium can be very important. And this is, you know, when I talk to the women, this is really important that around these years when the hormones are changing around perimenopause, that we are addressing getting enough calcium. And do we get enough? Can we get enough in our diet? Are we actually absorbing it from our diet? That's a question, right? So this is why I love the whole food calcium, whether you go with the actual capsules, which have a little bit of kale in them, or you're going with the powder itself. And I'll show you that, you know, with hair loss, insomnia, so it does help with sleep. Remember, we're taking this closer to bedtime. Confusion, memory loss as well can be related to, of course, that low calcium, brittle nails, eczema, and those muscle aches and cramps as well. So whether we're going with the capsules, or of course we do have the powder as well. So the calcium powder has a little scooper inside, and it's the same fossilized coral calcium, and each scoop is going to be your daily dosage. Now remember, we take our magnesium in the morning, so we talked about magnesium if you're just tuning in, magnesium in the morning, your calcium closer to bedtime. Now that calcium closer to bedtime is going to help with sleep. Remember, one of the symptoms is insomnia with a calcium deficiency. And I'm telling you, when you start to make this change for yourself, maybe you've been taking your magnesium at the wrong time, in my opinion, closer to bedtime for sleep. Maybe you're not taking calcium because you're scared of it. This is different. And this, because it is that fossilized coral calcium, it has that high absorption. And of course, this becomes important then in the way that you're feeling. I'm telling you, for the best night's sleep, start taking this. Even your dreams can change, and you start to have these like really deep dreams that you just know that you've had a great night's sleep. You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, that was like the best sleep ever? Well, that's what happens with the fossilized coral calcium, which is amazing. Now, don't forget that you can make the toothpaste with the calcium powder. So if you do follow me on social media, you know that I've talked about this in my show, and making that whitening and brightening toothpaste with all natural ingredients. You're going to do that with the powder. So make sure you pick up the powder today, put that in your cart. And this is the recipe really quickly. All right, so you're going to use 8 teaspoons of the calcium powder, 3 teaspoons of baking soda, 4 teaspoons of coconut oil, 4 teaspoons of xylitol powder. Now this one's a little bit optional. I know people who have pets and things, sometimes they don't want to use xylitol. You don't necessarily need to use it, but I like it because it helps with the microbiome in the mouth, as well as 15 drops of peppermint essential oil or another oil. Some people like to do like a cinnamon essential oil if that's the flavor of toothpaste, but I like the peppermint. It just tastes like, you know, regular toothpaste. You're going to mix that all into a glass container, and then you just use a little bit of that on your toothbrush. I'm telling you, for the whitest and brightest teeth, and it's also remineralizing. And that's because we put the coral calcium in the formulation of the toothpaste. It helps to strengthen your teeth. So this is great for the kids. You're going to love it. Your kids are going to love it. Your teenagers are going to love it, which is amazing as well. All right, so continuing on. And we're going to talk a little bit about the book now. And are we going? Yeah, okay. So this is my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's my 3rd bestseller now. And it became a bestseller very quickly. It's like almost 2.5 days because we were able to sell so many copies and very quickly. And I was so excited for the fact that we did so well. So take a look at this really quickly and we'll come right back. What if the real path to healing was buried on purpose? Before we had prescriptions and quick fixes, we healed with the sun, with the earth, with grounding, with natural detox, and really watching what we put into our bodies. Well, these are some of the reasons why I wrote my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's all about rediscovering Mother Nature's prescription for us. She is our best doctor. You can learn more in my latest book. Please check it out. All right, so coming right back now, yes, my book, so The Lost Medicine, Rediscovering Mother Nature's Prescription. Now this was a labor of love. It took me years to write, and actually about 5 years in total to come to completion. I had a lot of help in terms of the graphics, and I had a fantastic editor as well who helped to sort of solidify all of my thoughts and ideas. And this is really all about helping you to reconnect with nature. And I think we've become very lost in our modern world and with modern medicine. We've become so disconnected. Think about the lighting that we have in our homes, artificial lights. We don't sit around campfires. We don't use candlelight any longer. We have lights on after dark. We don't get up with the sun. Well, all of these things are plaguing our health in a negative way. And this is something that, you know, I did a lot of research on this and, you know, really started to learn as to what was missing even in my own life in terms of really reconnecting with nature. And this is where I saw profound changes for my own health and my energy levels, but also when we're talking about, you know, people who actually have very serious disease, or even if you're wanting to learn more about longevity, this is something that you're going to want to read. And all of the chapters in the book that I'm talking about is, of course, it's okay, I'm talking about those, is, of course, learning about light, learning about sound, learning about circadian rhythms, as well as sleep and grounding. Another chapter on EMFs, electromagnetic fields. You've heard me talk about all of these subjects if you follow me on social media. So if you do, and you're watching on social right now, please come over to Vitatree.com, and you're going to learn so much more about, you know, all of the products that we're talking about, and of course, my book, of course, The Lost Medicine. And I thank you for tuning in today. It's so great that you have all come to spend some time here, which is amazing. And yeah, so that is the book. And so you're going to learn about so much. And, you know, in terms of weight loss even, I have a chapter in there as well. And I guess, are we moving on to the next item? Yeah, okay. So we're going to talk now about the immune support supplement. Now this is all about supporting your immunity in a natural way. It's all in the one little capsule. So easy to take. Your standard dosage on this is 2 capsules per day. And we're going to take a look at the ingredients really quickly because it's important that you know that this is working on different levels. So when we talk about astragalus, so this is traditionally used in traditional Chinese medicine, and that's where I first learned about it at the Naturopathic College, was in our TCM class, and this is all about helping the immune system on a deeper level. And this is really important for upper respiratory tract infections, for, you know, decreasing the longevity of colds and flus. It really does help you to stay strong and keep your immune system strong when, you know, maybe your body is trying to fight something. Now the echinacea works like a natural antibiotic. So this becomes important when your body needs to fight something off, and that could be a chronic infection, that could be, you know, UTIs, that could be you cut yourself and it doesn't look like it's healing very well, looks like maybe it's getting infected, maybe sinus issues or ear issues, eye issues. And anytime you would think, oh, maybe I need to be fighting something here, maybe I need to have a little bit of a natural antibiotic effect, that's when you're going to think about the immune support supplement. Althea, now this is great for sore throats. And what I want you to do is actually open up the capsules. You can open it put on a little spoon, a wooden spoon, if you've learned from my social media. So a wooden spoon for honey. And you're gonna put a little bit of honey on a wooden spoon, then open up the capsule onto the spoon. I do this for the kids if they have a sore throat, amazing, and for myself and the rest of the family. So all you're gonna do is open up that capsule, and the contents of the capsule you're gonna put into that honey, and then you're going to swallow the honey down. And the great thing about this is that it is going to help to coat the throat, and that's because of the Althea, which is known as a demulcent herb. And demulcent herbal medicines help with irritated mucous membranes. It helps with that sore throat. If you're sneezing and coughing, that's going to really help to relieve that. As well as Panax. Now, Panax is a type of ginseng which helps to hasten the healing effect. So if you do come down with something, somebody coughs or sneezes on you, the kids are bringing home all these bugs and germs from school, this is going to help you to get well more quickly and really fight off whatever your body is, trying to fend off. And that's why it's important to keep your immune system strong, right? And 2 capsules a day. I've been known to take more of the immune support, especially if I find that I am, fighting something. Everybody's got their season as well. So I find as we go into the winter, it's not that we become more vulnerable to, the bugs that are out there, the colds, the viruses, the bacteria and all that. It's just more that our body, maybe we're not taking the right amount of rest time. Maybe we're not keeping our body, and body thermoregulation in terms of, getting cold exposure, but knowing how to warm yourself at the same time becomes very important. And I think a lot of us do it wrong, and that's where you're going to learn about all these tips in my book, how to use the cold to your advantage to actually stimulate your immune system, how to make sure that you can use the heat as well, so hot showers or hot tub or sauna to help with your immunity as well, and those heat shock proteins, but we have cold shock proteins as well, really important for our overall immunity. And again, with the immune support, maybe we'll take a look at some of the testimonials or reviews that we have on this product, which are amazing, and especially the second one, but let's go through both of them. So from Joyce, Joyce said, love the immune support. At the first sign of not feeling well, I take 2 capsules and start to feel better immediately. Love Vitatree. And one of the reasons for Joyce and for so many of you that, love Vitatree, why this works so well and so quickly is because we don't use the fillers and the flow agents. That's really important. So again, at Vitatree, what fills up the capsule is all of our raw materials. So those actives, so all those herbal medicines that we heard about, of course, the echinacea, the astragalus, the althea, that make up the immune support, that is what fills up the capsule. Now, what other companies are doing, and I'm going to say most of the companies are doing, is again, same capsule size, but they're using a lot of these fillers and flow agents just to fill up the capsule. So now are you getting the same potency and the same concentration of, all of those actives? Maybe not. And this is why, when I started to do this research in the supplement industry and I started to look at other formulations, like this is unbelievable to me. And it's the microcrystalline cellulose, silicon dioxide, titanium dioxide, magnesium stearate, all of these extra ingredients that go into those supplements that do not need to be there, okay? They're cutting costs, and that at the end of the day, it just doesn't, it's not a feel-good thing. So this is why I formulated my own supplements, and that's how Vitatree was born. All right, here we go. This is from Julia. I love this. Okay, I got bronchitis and pneumonia for the last 15 years, okay, 15 years. Doctors prescribed, different types of things to me, and it can take 3 to 4 weeks to get better. So in the meantime, you ordered some of the vitamins that she saw me, Dr. Janine, talking about the vitamins, and that made sense to her. And then she was convinced and what convinced her was that there were no fillers. So just what I had mentioned, no fillers makes all the difference. And So right away, by the third day, she was feeling so much better and the symptoms were almost gone. So, after 3 days, that is huge. When normally it would take 3 weeks when on, the medication and to feel so much better. So thank you so much, Julia, for writing that testimonial. I know it takes time and effort to write testimonials and reviews, but I absolutely love to hear all of your feedback and your progress with taking the Vitatree supplements, which is amazing. And if you're just tuning in, remember today is deal day. I know that there's some questions. Linda was asking about my book. Does it talk about grounding? You've heard a lot about that lately. Yes, absolutely. That is a whole section in the book, in the Lost Medicine, about grounding, how to do it, how you can maximize the effects of grounding, which of course is very anti-inflammatory. It helps with joints and it helps with your mitochondria. It's anti-aging. And Jen was asking, can I take 2 calcium capsules together? Yes, you can. That's often how I do it, the 2 capsules. But right now I just take the 1 scoop. I have it right beside my bed. I take the 1 scoop in my mouth at bedtime. Amazing for that absorption, amazing for your teeth as well. And of course, brushing your teeth with the calcium powder is amazing as well. All right, so I think we're moving on to probiotics next. And yeah, all right, so we will come back in just a second. Take a look at this.
Vitatree live shopping with Dr. Janine Bowring. Stock up and save up to 35% on your favorite Vitatree products at Vitatree.com. Need help or have a question? Call 1-844-GET-WELL or email our team at hello@Vitatree.com or chat with us in the comments for live answers from Dr. Janine. We're so
All
glad
right,
you
so
joined
there
us for
you
Vitatree
have it.
Live.
Thank you so much. We are moving on to our probiotics next. If you're just joining us, this is Deal Day live shopping. It's only 1 day only on our big event, and that is our Deal Day item. So take a look at this really quickly. We will maybe have a few moments at the end of the hour to come back to this, but I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that you're putting this in your cart at a great value, up to 35% off with subscription. And this is our vitamin D3 chewable vitamin D. Amazing, great for the kids. They're soft chewable gel caps. They taste like lemonade, little candy, sweetened with monk fruit, so you don't have to worry about spiking your blood glucose levels. Standardized to 1,000 international units of that vitamin D3 in each capsule, and they're 90 capsules per bottle. I've never seen this price before. I'm just going to tell you that. So this is incredible. Only for 24 hours, and as long as we have some quantity on that. Our zinc, and I will be talking in more detail about the zinc plus quercetin. That is coming up, our super sale item, a 2-bottle offer at $55.02 USD. So thanks for tuning in today. I'm having so much fun talking about all of my formulations. And with our probiotics, we know that probiotics, or maybe you didn't know, probiotics are a big part of our immunity. So over 80% of our immunity comes from having that healthy gut microbiome. And our microbiome is a big part of, yes, digestion and absorption of our nutrients, but probiotics are a big part of this. And putting enough of the good guys back in is what probiotics are all about. So when we come over here, we can take a look at an unhealthy and a healthy microbiome. And this is my representation. If you've seen me, if you're in Canada and you've seen me, talk about this on television, yeah, I love this demo. All right, so and let's start with the unhealthy microbiome. What's happening here is that we've got a lot of the less favorable organisms. So let's say, maybe in some of the things that we talked about the last time that I was here was, the less favorable, maybe bacteria, maybe, just the bad bugs that can be in the gut. And we need to do a microbiome cleanse. Well, part of that cleansing process, and yes, we have our Paravide, if you were here with us last week, that Paravide and that Paravide protocol, this is where you start. You're going to get rid of those bad guys, but then you always have to be putting enough of the good guys back in. And that's exactly what probiotics are. They're a good, healthy, friendly flora. And that's why at Vitatree, the friendly flora that we offer, of course, in my formulation, are designed for your human digestive tract. So you get back to having that healthier microbiome. This is a big part of your ability to digest and absorb your nutrients as well, and a huge part of your immunity. This has to do with your skin. So if you have chronic skin issues and, maybe it's the eczema, the psoriasis, the acne, that can be a microbiome problem, and we definitely want to do part of that microbiome cleanse. Getting rid of these bad guys is important. Now, here's the great thing about taking your probiotics every day. So now you're inundating, you're getting, billions of these called colony-forming units, CFUs, of your Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium bifidum. Those are the two strains that I use in my formula. And now, if, let's say, one of these bad guys tries to get in, because you've got so many of those good guys, your probiotics that are now lining your intestinal wall, they can't penetrate, they can't hook onto the intestines, because you have your army, your soldier of good guys to protect you. So that's really important as well. And making sure that you're getting enough every day and that is designed for your human gut is very important. Now, the other thing that's very different with the Vitatree probiotics that you should know is that this is designed to, and the strains have actually been tested to bypass that stomach acid. So a lot of probiotics are out there, and no, you don't have to. I know that that question might come in. Do you have to keep it in the fridge? No, you don't need to, but I prefer, once you've opened your bottle of your probiotics, that once it's been exposed to some humidity and air, I prefer that you actually keep this in the fridge after you've opened the bottle. Some people, as soon as they get their shipment home, they put it right in the fridge directly, and that's going to help, because to maintain that viability, remember, these are live microorganisms in your Vitatree probiotics. But again, here we can see an unhealthy microbiome, a healthy gut with good bacteria. So here we see, imagine this is our Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium bifidum. Those are the two strains that you're getting in the Vitatree probiotics. Standard dosage is 2 to 4 capsules per day. So if you're taking 2 capsules a day, 1 bottle is going to be a 30-day supply. So just make sure that you order enough for what you know that you're going to need. In our house, they actually, yes, my family is watching, so please, we got to take some probiotics home when we're done here today, because we're out at home. We got to put them in the fridge. I looked for them this morning, like, where's the probiotics? We're done. Okay, so please remember, yes, note to self, love doing live shows. All right, somebody write that down. All right, so probiotics, we got to take it home because we are out of it, and this is important. So yeah, that healthy, unhealthy microbiome is when some of those bad guys take over. And now we've got some symptoms, and it's called dysbiosis. So that now imbalance, and that what I call the messy microbiome, we could be having some constipation, we could be having some diarrhea, because now too many of those bad guys are starting to take over. We don't have enough of the good guys. It could be the gas, the bloating, unpleasant taste in the mouth can be related to this, as well as pain, so actually stomach pain, a lot of gurgling sounds. So if you eat a meal, here's the thing, for the real great indicator that you need to do a microbiome cleanse. If you eat a meal and then you hear a lot of gurgling happening, and then your stomach starts to go like this, and you get more and more distended as the day goes on, big indicator of needing that microbiome cleanse. All right, so starting off, yes, maybe with our Paravide to get rid of the bad guys, putting in, we start at the same time with the probiotics, at the same time putting the good guys back in, as well as that distension, like I said, decreased or sometimes increased appetite, especially if it's a candida issue. And with candida, it's going to make you crave all of the wrong stuff. So that's very common. Do I have my candida picture here? I'm going to find it. Yes, I do. Awesome. All right, so candida is something that can overgrow, and it can be in your bloodstream, it can be in your gut, and this is something that you definitely want to make sure that you are putting your good guys back in. That is your Vitatree probiotics. And of course, our Paravide protocol, which we talked about last week, is also part of a candida cleanse as well. So you may want to check that out online, the Paravide. The deal is gone because that was just a 24-hour. This is why you got to be quick, because some people are watching now are like, oh man, I should have got the Paravide that was on the deal day last week. But that offer is gone. But of course, it's still available, and there are some opportunities for discounts if you get more than 1 bottle, so you can check it out online on Vitatree.com. All right, so our reviews for our probiotics, love this, very natural. This is from Dawn. I have been using all my life. Gut feels at ease after taking this product. Will not use another probiotic. Simply the best. Helps you go as well. So if you do have slow bowels, the Vitatree probiotics can gently get things moving, which I love. Okay, awesome. Best probiotic out there. Digestive health is back to normal from Jamie. Thank you so much. And from Tina, really helped my son. Oh, I love hearing that. So important to take care of our kids. Yeah, the Vitatree probiotics are designed for children aged 1 and above. And it does have the prebiotics in there as well. So you can definitely open up the capsules, and it tastes sweet. That's why the kids love the Vitatree probiotics, because the prebiotics taste sweet. You just open the powder into your mouth. Great for your dental health as well. All right, so moving on to our organic vitamin C is next. All right, so this is very different compared to other vitamin Cs. Most vitamin C is an ascorbic acid, all right? And ascorbic acid is usually derived from genetically modified corn or corn syrup, even worse, in my opinion. And they use something like sulfuric acid to extract that ascorbic acid, which is now singular. It's just, that one extract of vitamin C. Vitamin C, ideally, from Mother Nature, comes in a complex. And when we look at the formulation of the organic vitamin C, you'll appreciate that this is a complex. Again, from Mother Nature does not make mistakes, and this is important because organic camu berries are 60 times more concentrated in vitamin C as compared to oranges, as an example. Organic acerola cherries, again, very high in that natural vitamin C, 13 times more concentrated in vitamin C as compared to oranges. Quercetin, which is going to help with that bioavailability, that proper absorption, of course, of that vitamin C, and citrus bioflavonoids. So the white part of your citrus fruits, and that's what my mom, when I was a youngster, always said, okay, you eat, and not every kid likes to eat the white part, right? We always peel it off and throw it away. No, that's where the citrus bioflavonoids are, and diosmin and hesperidin are usually the big ones, and that's what really helps with that bioavailability, is the proper absorption of your active vitamin C from the organic vitamin C. So again, very different, not the same as other vitamin Cs that you may have tried before, whether it's a powder, a tablet, or a chewable. This is very different. They are capsules. If you're not great at swallowing capsules, remember you can open up your Vitatree capsules into some water, into some juice, and do it that way. You can actually make a vitamin C serum with this as well, and I promise in a future show we'll share that recipe with you for your skin. And this is now you're using the whole food organic vitamin C on your skin, which is so lightening and brightening. It's amazing for your skin, and you can do that topically, and I do have that recipe on my social media if you want to look for that. Okay, so without magnesium stearate, remember, if you're just tuning in, we don't use synthetic ingredients, so no synthetic vitamin C, no filler or flow agents, and that's why you get the results that you're looking for. And as we know with vitamin C, let's go on over here for a second. I'm going to show you just for your skin. This is remarkable. We know, of course, vitamin C, and we'll go through some of the deficiency symptoms as well. We know that vitamin C is so important, for our immunity and keeping our immune system strong and for our lung health. But did you know for your collagen, we need that vitamin C for that proper scaffolding of our collagen fibers. So it kind of works like a scaffold. So imagine this is our pro-collagen, which is a triple helix. Well, that pro-collagen has to stack on top of itself. And for it to actually form that collagen, we don't want to have any sort of cross-linking happening of our collagen. So vitamin C helps to maintain that proper scaffolding so that we're maintaining that proper status of that collagen and elastin to help with, of course, having beautiful skin. And that's why vitamin C has been known for years and years to help with beautiful skin and to decrease, those fine lines and wrinkles. That's why a lot of people use it topically as a serum, but now taking it from the inside out has so many great benefits. And when we look at that cross-linking of the skin, we can see that, the disorganization and loss of collagen fibers, that's what we're talking about, and that's when we are getting the wrinkles. So the vitamin C helps to maintain that proper organization, that proper scaffolding of your vitamin C, and that's going to be really important. All right, how do we know that we're low in vitamin C? It's usually not something that's tested for when you go to the doctor. Let's go through some of the most common symptoms of that vitamin C deficiency. So whether that is bleeding of the skin, all right? It could be, and of, mucous membrane. So if you're getting nosebleeds, for instance, that can be low vitamin C. Loose teeth and swelling with your gums related to vitamin C deficiency. This is very common for smokers to have a lot of dental problems because smoking will deplete your vitamin C very rapidly. Rough, dry skin, it could be the eczema as well. Joint and body aches, very common with a vitamin C deficiency. Fatigue, low mood, depression, increased susceptibility, of course, to infections. We know that our vitamin C is really important for our immunity, and muscle weakness. And here's the thing, for people that take a lot of, conventional synthetic vitamin C, the ascorbic acid, it can cause a little bit of irritation, let's put it that way, in the gut, That's not what's going to happen here at Vitatree, because remember, this is organic, natural ingredients without any of the fillers and flow agents. And I just want to bring your attention really quickly to the magnesium stearate. Now, this is a flow agent. Again, it's never been tested for long-term human consumption. It's used in most of the supplements that are out there in the marketplace, even the more natural ones that you think are, more organic or whatever. They use magnesium stearate. It's a chemical. It's not magnesium. It's a chemical that they use to speed up production times. And of course, we don't use it at Vitatree. It can cause symptoms if you're sensitive to it. So things like acid reflux, it can cause a bit of nausea, even heart palpitations for some people, and just makes you feel unwell. But it decreases the absorption of anything that it goes on top of, and that's why it works for the machinery, because it speeds up production times. It makes it more slippery on the machines, easier to encapsulate or to get into the tablet. But we don't use that. And of course, all the Vitatree products, welcome on in. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Janine. I'm the formulator, so that's me. And of course, these are whole food ingredients that we use in all of my formulations. No magnesium stearate, no fillers or flow agents, and of course, third-party tested in GMP facility, which is really important. Okay, let's look at some of the reviews from our vitamin C. So vitamin C is so important to me. It's important to have a healthy immune, strong antioxidant, and good support of the nervous system. Vitatree's organic vitamin C offers all that. I've had few colds and flu. I got a compliment on my skin. You're 71, you have no wrinkles. Oh my goodness, Diane. Good eating and excellent supplements contribute to that. Well, thank you so much. What a fantastic testimonial review. Also from Robert said, it gave me the vitamin C boost I needed with no fillers. Love that it's whole foods. Well, thank you so much for Robert and for appreciating that difference. Again, that is the Vitatree difference. And of course, from Sandra said, used it for about 4 years now. It's good. I'd rather spend more money on something I know doesn't have fillers. Well, thank you so much, Sandra, and thank you for sharing all of your great reviews. It's so great having you all here today for our live shopping event. This is brand new for us here at Vitatree.com. If you're watching me elsewhere, please come and head over to Vitatree.com. You can interact and ask your questions as well. And we're going to take a look at this, and I will be right back in a second. What if the real path to healing was buried on purpose? Before we had prescriptions and quick fixes, we healed with the sun, with the earth, with grounding, with natural detox, and really watching what we put into our bodies. Well, these are some of the reasons why I wrote my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's all about rediscovering Mother Nature's prescription for us. She is our best doctor. You can learn more in my latest book. Please check it out. All right, so thank you and welcome on back. Yeah, if you haven't yet picked up your copy of The Lost Medicine, I think that you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn more than something. You're going to learn a lot from my latest book, a national bestseller now, and that happened like in 2.5 days, like I said. So yeah, thank you to all of you who have supported me and of course, and have purchased the book. And yeah, love the fact that we're hearing some of the best reviews coming back on my latest book, The Lost Medicine. So check that out. All right, we are continuing shopping. Okay, so this is our super sale. We've been waiting to get here, haven't we? Talking about the zinc plus quercetin. This is our super sale item, and this is a great opportunity. This is our 2-bottle offer, and with our live shopping, we have special offers happening today, a one-time shopping price of $55.02 USD. And of course, you can also spread your payments. So if you want to go with this option, there are interest-free partial payments that you can split up your payments to make it a little bit easier for you. So you have that option. But also we have our subscription. So this is our most popular way to go. And you can lock in this price, which again, we're not going to see this price for a very long time on the zinc plus quercetin, our 2-bottle offer. And you get free shipping over here as well. So that's something that's incredible. So yeah, you might want to go this way. It's up to you, but make sure you put it in your cart. We know that zinc is super important for our immune system. We know that zinc on its own is a potent antiviral, as is copper. And when we look at the formulation of the zinc plus quercetin, you're not only getting the zinc, you're getting the copper as well. And when we see that, plus the quercetin and shiitake mushrooms, this becomes really important. Of course, without the fillers, without the flow agents in the zinc formulation. So here you can see the zinc bisglycinate, which is very gentle on your stomach. Okay, historically, if you've ever taken zinc lozenges, you've taken a zinc supplement before, you know that it can be really hard on your stomach and it makes you kind of feel nauseous. I was getting calls and texts about this, a few years ago when the world went crazy about, why do I feel, doc, why do I feel so sick to my stomach? I'm like, what are you taking? And often it would be, I'm taking a zinc. I heard zinc is really good for you right now. And I'm like, yeah, what kind of zinc is it? And I didn't yet have, of course, my own formulation of the zinc plus quercetin, but that really propelled me very quickly to make one, of course, for the Vitatree line. And this is why it's so important that it's a zinc bisglycinate plus your copper in the right ratio to help with that proper absorption. It's not going to make you feel sick to your stomach. And it has the channel, all right? So zinc has a difficulty getting into cells. It needs something called an ionophore. It needs a channel to open up to allow for that proper zinc absorption. And that's where I did the research, and the quercetin happens to be a zinc ionophore, helps to open up that channel for that proper zinc absorption, which is so important. And I also included the shiitake mushrooms for something called cytokines. There's something called a cytokine storm that can happen when your immune system is fighting something off. And this is where people had a lot of chronic lung issues, and still to this day, people still not feeling so great because their immune system, maybe got a little bit overzealous. And that's why I put the shiitake mushrooms in the formula to help to quell that storm. All right, so how do we know that we're low in zinc? This is big, all right? So please pay attention to these symptoms because zinc deficiency is more common than what you would think. We'll talk about women in just a second with estrogen, but this is important. All right, so with zinc deficiency, lack of energy, tiredness, fatigue, all right, lack of concentration, very, very common. Thinning hair and hair loss related to this. One woman who watches me here in Canada on television, she heard me talking about this, and I went through this chart on TV, and she's like, she ordered immediately and she said, oh my goodness, yeah, my hair stopped falling out. I had no idea it was related to a zinc deficiency, but sure enough, that's what it was. And with this one, it's just one capsule a day. So it's not a huge investment in time or energy, right? It's just one capsule a day, and that stopped her hair loss, which was so important. As well as, of course, for immunity. And if you get those little white spots on your nails, that could be related to a zinc deficiency. Dry and aging skin. If you have chronic acne, cystic acne, even acne scars, this can be really helpful. And chronic, skin rashes, the eczema, the psoriasis, zinc deficiency. This is going to help with that skin barrier function. And it works a little bit like vitamin C for the scaffolding of your skin. So for that beautiful skin and your collagen, that's really important as well. Okay, dry and eyes, blurred vision, loss of taste and smell. All right, this is so important. Loss of taste and smell, zinc deficiency. So I just want you to make that correlation because for a lot of people I know that, that's a thing. All right, decreased libido in both men and women, enlarged prostate for the guys, and infertility, again, for both men and women. Now, the great thing about our special offer today, and I was going to talk about so who's at risk for zinc deficiency really quickly. Okay, so for both men and women that have something called estrogen dominance. So maybe you've got this, maybe not. There's a lot of xenoestrogens and estrogens in our environment and plastics and things that raises our estrogen in comparison to our progesterone. Estrogen dominance, if you've done any research on this, you know what I'm talking about, but that can cause and make you more prone to a zinc deficiency. As well, if you take acid reflux medication, that can make you more prone to a zinc deficiency. So there's a lot of situations. If you're celiac, if you have leaky gut syndrome, that can really exacerbate the fact that you are having a zinc deficiency. So these are things that you definitely want to make sure that you're on top of, and just taking that one capsule a day, that is your standard dosage for the Vitatree zinc. And again, without the fillers, without the flow agents. Really quickly, again, this is, of course, the value of our super sale item. So it is a 2-bottle offer, again, at $55.02 for our one-time, as well as if you want to go on subscription, then that is our best value right here with free shipping at $49.52 USD. So great opportunity for today. And I love the fact that we're shopping together. If you're watching me elsewhere, please come to Vitatree.com and place these items in your cart. Again, our deal of the day was our vitamin D3, and that vitamin D3 is at a super offer. So this is our deal day item. You're going to start to become familiar with our lingo here. A deal day item is only for 24 hours, okay? And while we do have quantity, while supplies last, so that is something that you definitely want to get into your cart. It expires, in 24 hours, so it'll be gone. You won't be able to purchase it anymore. I know some people are still kicking themselves from last week with their Paravenum detox that you missed the deal, sorry. But that's why you got to be quick, all right? And so many of you did get in on that deal. So your D3 2-bottle offer at a subscription price, $37.78 USD, a one-time, but you can split your payments here, so that's a great option for a lot of you at up to 25% off. So amazing, amazing shopping opportunities. And please share with your friends. Hey, maybe you've got friends who are new to Vitatree and you want to share all of that good news, you can definitely do that. And coming back to our main item, of course, our deal day item, this is our vitamin D3 capsules. Now, these are soft little chewable gel caps. They are chewable, and it's a soft gel cap on the outside. It's not like the hard ones that you have to crunch down. It's actually soft, and it tastes like little lemonade candies, which you're going to love. The kids love it. Each capsule is standardized to 1,000 international units of your vitamin D3, which is just the right dosage, because then you can dose accordingly. Hey, if your doctor said to take 10,000, you take 10. If your doctor said to take 1, you take 1. It's 90 capsules per bottle, so great value here. And it's sweetened with monk fruit, so it tastes absolutely delicious. You don't have to worry about spiking your blood sugar. They taste like little candies. I will say, because the kids love them so much, just keep them out of their hands. Keep it away, because they will help themselves and eat these like candy. So if you've got little ones or children, grandchildren around, you want to be careful with that. But again, vitamin D deficiency symptoms really quickly. Do I have enough time to go through this? Yeah? All right, so vitamin D. How do you know that you're low in vitamin D? Okay, you could have muscle aches and pains. You could have low back pain is a big one with a vitamin D deficiency, high blood pressure and artery issues as well. Fatigue, low mood, depression, seasonal affective disorder. Why? Vitamin D, lack of sunlight, absolutely, but vitamin D3 is a big component of this. Issues in the mouth, so dental concerns. Again, asthma, diabetes, bone density issues. D3 I actually like with our magnesium. We did talk about magnesium in this hour today, so your magnesium and your D3 in the morning is a great combination. And of course your calcium is closer to bedtime. That's going to help with your good night's sleep, which is so fantastic as well. So again, it is our deal day item, 2-bottle offer, and really great opportunity for shopping today. So just be quick, get it in your cart, make sure you've got it. And yeah, this is something that will happen once a month here for our deal day. So it's a new thing that we're doing here at Vitatree.com once a month. Usually it will be the first Thursday of each month. So I'll see you next month, the first Thursday. Continue to do your shopping. So glad that you joined me today. Share with your friends, and I'll see you over at Vitatree.com. We'll see you next time, and take a look at this.